Hello. Yeah, there is definitely a delay, but that's fine. That's just the Twitch delay, I
Yeah, it's
think.
all right. Yeah, it is.
All right, hello and welcome everyone to the Evil Hour, the all things survival horror podcast, including our experiences, thoughts, and hot takes. We're your hosts, the dudes, the horror enthusiasts, renegades of the underground, and this guy over here.
I'm D-Dog,
And I'm Sean Graves. In today's episode, we will be discussing how to survive a zombie apocalypse. So, first and foremost, shout out to the moderators. Thank you all for helping our streams out, for making sure that we have a safe space here for the podcast. D-Dog, any in-house news, anything, upcoming events that you want to talk about?
Well, at least around where I'm from, we got King of Derby. I'll just say it that way. But yeah, so that's going on. Me and my wife's gonna attend that, so I can't wait. But $50,000 payout for first place. Yeah, it's a serious derby, so I can't wait for that. See some cars clashing together, but that's about it for me, man. Nothing new.
Is that the one that you're going to be in, or is that the one that you're just gonna go? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna watch. Yeah, no, the one I'm gonna be in is August, so.
Okay. All right. So wait. Okay. So that's only like in a couple months now.
Yep, two more months. Yep.
Are you nervous? Or are you ready?
So anybody who's been doing derbies will even tell you they would tell you that they're ready, but when the day comes, even a guy that I know who's always like a winning champion around this town, he even says sometimes he gets nervous. And if that's coming from a dude who's been doing this since my age, so I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm ready, but when the day comes, I'll slip up. I'll slip up.
I don't think you're gonna slip up. I think you're gonna do just as well as you expect yourself to do. And dude, the main
thing is in my book is just crash into some cars and honestly get better than 9th place, because last year I got 9th place. So if we can only go up
from here.
Exactly. Also, I'm gonna get it. I got a GoPro set up, so I'm gonna try to get the inside view of when it looks like when I'm fucking in it. So look forward for that.
So
I'll
cool.
show you guys that on my YouTube side.
Hell yeah, man. Is that gonna be on the D-Dog channel, or is there gonna be like a separate?
Yeah.
Is that gonna be for the? Oh, okay. All right, cool. Right on.
Yeah, it's gonna be on the D-Dog channel. Yep.
Hell yeah.
What about you, man? Anything upcoming events?
Next week I will be seeing Smokey Robinson. If you don't know who this is, he is a vocalist. He was back in the old Motown days with the Miracles.
Okay.
And so he's going to be in Fresno next week, and the boyfriend unit and I are going to go to see him. This is more of like a boyfriend unit kind of concert thing. This is up his alley, okay? But if you love if you love smooth, like, this guy doesn't sing up into the rafters, okay? He's not a yeller, he's not a screamer, he's not, okay? This guy is actually kind of old, okay? He's pushing grandpa years, all right? But back in his yonder days, he was a smooth artist. He did R&B, he did Motown, he did like all those things. He's still pushing out records and he's still putting on shows. But this guy, he's not up in the rafters. He's more like down in the sheets kind of guy, all right? He tells a lady how it's going, all right? So.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's gonna be a good.
Fancy now.
Right, a little fancy, not too much. Yeah. So it's gonna be a really cool night. I'm really excited for Smokey Robinson. Yeah. Now I don't think the Miracles. I don't think the Miracles are still around, but you know, like the Temptations, like, you know.
Right.
So Smokey Robinson was a part of like a vocal group like that, and they were called the Miracles. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just been like listening to a little bit of his music, getting freshened up on his solo work. I know about his old school music, like oh my gosh, the song plays in my head because it's got like that really cool melody that goes like dun 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 dun. Like, it's like, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the song. Anyway, it's skipping my my head, but that's gonna be next week. So I'm glad we're not podcasting on that Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So that is the upcoming event for me, and getting back into streaming because I totally botched this last week because I ate poor food. So my whole body has been healing.
You're telling me, man. I just got back on second shift, and I was like, I can't wait to stream every day, and I've been butchering it like nothing. Like I think I only streamed one time. I have actually. Here's my list. I streamed 4 days ago since I've been on second shift, so dude, I've been butchering it.
It's the way that Twitch like holds your feet to the fire and goes like, hey, you weren't here for like a whole week, and I'm like, okay, I was sick, okay, I was trying to like people go like, oh, it must be easy to be a streamer, and I'm like, the hell it is.
Yeah, no.
No, it's not once, not never. Okay, zombies. How to survive a zombie apocalypse. Have you ever thought about this? Have you ever came up with a game plan when you were like younger, or like, because to me, like, in college, World War Z as a book came out. It was published. It was like one of those like hot books that my friends and I passed around next to the zombie survival book, which is the first book by Max Brooks. And you know, all the classic George A. Romero films.
Right.
I never really thought about it until I was hanging out with my friends and kind of coming up with like a plan, but the plan was never really actually a good plan, like never like a plan. And I always wondered, like, how does one plan for a zombie apocalypse?
You know, that is very good theory or whatever that
like just a train of thought, just like a spitball idea here, you know.
Now me growing up in a small town like this and coming from a gamer standpoint, man, when we were kids we were kind of hoping for a zombie apocalypse, as fucked up as it sounds, but yeah, no, literally, because it's more like the thrill. Like I can't, you know, like, and I remember to this day, I never thought of it until now that you said something. Because like I told you earlier before you started live streaming, like I'm just going to say stuff where I already had planned and, you know, what to do. But now I never thought of the kid version of me. And it's funny that you mentioned that, because the kid version of me, I don't know why, but go to Lowe's. Go to Lowe's and get all the fucked up weapons there that you could like just make crap.
Why? I would go to Harbor Freight. They're cheaper. They pride themselves on that.
Zombie apocalypse has happened. She's like, sorry, your card declined. Can you try reinsert it again? And you're like, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. People are screaming outside, getting mauled to death.
It'd be like this. Excuse me, Karen. I know it's a zombie apocalypse, but some decorum at the checkout store register would be like really appreciated right now.
You know, you should put a smile on that face.
I was thinking about this for like the past like almost like a month now. When we threw the idea out. Unfortunately, okay, so let me just give you like a preface. My planning as an adult, actually, let me take it from a kid's point of view, because I think that speaks a lot to me as an adult. When I was a kid, wait, first of all, have you ever done a fire escape when you were a kid? Like from your parents' house? Like they would all like do like a practice drill, like what would you do if there was a fire in the house, Dom? And you'd be like,
no, but that's smart. That's smart.
Okay, well, I guess I guess I was privileged. I don't know, but like, I remember.
Like, Mom, I live on the 5th floor. Nah, joking.
Yeet.
Yeet. No, but that's actually really smart. You know, now that you gave me that, when I have children, I like to think of that, because now to think about it, you know, not to veer off subject here, but now that I think about it, if a fire did break out when I was a kid, what the fuck would I have done? Like freaked out, froze, and my parents would just let me die, bro.
I think it was like 3rd grade or like 4th grade, that at school they were like, okay, this is the fire drill, so they would practice fire drills, right? And then the teacher was like, well, let's take it a step further and let's talk about how would you escape your house if there was a fire drill. And so we like laid out, like we would take like time to draw like our house and like like what's the first path, what's an alternate path, what's a third path if you got one, worst case scenario, right? So the idea of the homework was that you would take this picture home and you would tell your parents like, hey, look, I came up with a fire escape plan and I think we should do a fire drill just because, Mom. And your mom would be like, okay, let's do it. Here's the thing. Dad decided to do this on his own, okay? And he decided
to starts a fire. I was joking. He's like, all right, let's do it now.
Like, we simulated, okay, but here's the thing. No. So, like, he informed the older sisters. The older sisters were supposed to inform me and my little brother. Now, my brother and I are 2 years difference. My sisters, like the next one up is about 10 years older than me. And so it's like 13, 10, and then the 2 years. And I don't know what happened in communication breakdown. I don't know like what, I was not given that pass down. I was not told like what to do. So it was training day. It was like execution day. My dad did the fire in the house. Everyone out, right? So like everyone else like leaves the damn house. They go across the street and they all muster. I say muster. They all like checked in with my dad across the street at the neighbor's house, right? Where's Sean? I went out the back door and I walked like down the alleyway and I went like to the park and I like hung out there for like an hour, okay? Like chasing geese and like playing on swings and like hanging out with kids I have never met before. And
totally forgot about the fire drill.
No one told me where to meet up, so like I just went on my own adventure, okay? And so everyone's in the house like
sad story.
Everyone's in the house like trying to find Sean, and there's like, you know, the usual like hiding corners that I use to like scare people. Like my little brother or chase him or whatever. There's the whole basement downstairs. Like there's all these things, right? And no one found me. No one even bothered to like ask a neighbor, like, hey, have you seen Sean or anything like that? Like there was no bolo, like nothing like that, right? So an hour later, and like I'm getting yelled at because I wasn't told the information. So I just want you guys to know, like, walking into this whole, like, how do I survive a zombie apocalypse? That's exactly how I'm handling this. While you all are like, you know, okay, so we're going to muster at Lowe's. We're going to get all the weapons. We're going to, you know, swipe that credit card and take all the money out of the cash register. Yeah, I'm over here at the playground going like this. This is a nice apocalypse. Why I got
the Amber Alert around that time.
But it worked.
Yeah, technically you won hide and seek. That was pretty damn good.
So I just want you guys to know that in crafting my how do I survive a zombie apocalypse, look at it from a middle child's perspective here, that I wasn't given the assignment details. I was just given the title and I worked off of that, okay? So
that's awesome.
I broke it down for me. I thought it would be easiest to talk about the 3 extremes of zombies. And the first one would be simple zombies. I'm calling them simple zombies.
Right.
And this is, and just spitball with me coming up with ideas on this one. Resident Evil, the first video game.
Okay. So dumb, you know, bad.
Yeah. Night of the Living Dead version. Like, you know, again, they're just kind of like, zombies.
Yeah.
And then like The Walking Dead. Like those are simple zombies because they just roam around. It sucks when there's a lot of them, and you know, you don't really want to get bit by any of them. Like, I don't know how else to explain that. Like, you're just kind of waiting for nature to take its course inevitably on these kinds of zombies. I feel like, it's not tooting my horn, I feel like I can do simple zombies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was talking with my wife yesterday about it, because she actually asked the question that me and you were talking about was, wait, what kind of zombies is it going to be in the zombie apocalypse? And she brought up the Living Dead zombies. And she actually brought up a great point that I didn't even think about, because me being me, and just like you said, not to toot my own horn, I feel like those kind of zombies, surviving isn't hard. But she says, unless you get caught in a horde, because yes, they are slow, but if you're caught in a horde, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
I'm like, that's actually really good statement.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because I didn't even think of that. I was thinking one-on-one, where it's like, bam, dead. Okay, walk around. Bam, dead. But if there's like 15 behind you and 15 in front of you, you got no left and right. What you gonna do?
Exactly. Also, on top of that, like, I was thinking to myself, like, well, like, I guess it'd be I'll talk about it later, but what's like the best way that you would think would be to defend yourself in a zombie apocalypse? And I personally felt like, like combat, like physical wackadoodle combat, because a gun is okay, or like a bow and arrow, like that's one thing, but like that would not be like my primary, personally.
Not
like,
only
I
that,
feel like
not everybody's in the military, and I can't reload in 2.3 seconds. Like, I literally sit there and just like one, and then I'm like, here's the fourth one. There you go. Because that spring, and no offense, but in a zombie apocalypse, I really doubt that you're gonna have like a really nice spring, click, click.
Yeah.
But so and I agree with you. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm all guns blazing. Let's fuck it up. But like, when it comes to reloading, what you gonna do?
Right, and like,
because I can't reload a chamber in like 15 seconds. I'm sorry.
But like in every single zombie apocalypse trope, like they're always attracted to sound. Yeah. And so like, with that being said, like it just, I don't know, to me it would just make sense that playing wackadoodle, like hitting the hammer on not hammer, but like a bat or something like that, to me would make more sense.
And see, when it comes to zombie apocalypse, I used to play the fuck out Dead Rising 2, and crafting became my thing, and I feel like, everybody could craft a weapon and everything, but I'm more of like, how fucked up and destructive can we make this weapon? So, I'm gonna take a bat, put some nails on it, maybe barbed wire around it, call it a day. Let's go. Until that thing breaks, and then, if I find a 2x4, same exact thing, put some barbed wire around it, maybe some nails, because, I don't want to, I try to think of logic here too. I don't want to hit them and have it stuck into them and them still be alive, and I gotta rip it out and try to hit them again. So there's other alternatives you gotta run with this too. Right.
And it's all about, like, again, like, if staying within the realm of zombie shenanigans, we'll call it, like, it is about how hard would it be to hit someone's head, you know what I mean, and like, get the brain, all those things. And it's like, I feel like if you just take like the carcass of a chicken and like you like, put like a melon inside, like you're gonna have to do some work for that one,
And I hate to bring it up like this, but I was working on the Derby car last week, and this is what made me thought of this subject as well. So when I was working on the Derby car, I'm hitting metal on metal, right? And may I remind you, I have a sledgehammer with a wooden handle. And when I hit that so hard, it like hurt my hand / had that shot, like, boom, I was like, I had to drop the weapon type stuff. And that's why I thought about with this is what weapons are good against a human skull. And I hate to say it like that as in serial killer, but think about it, because you ever hit like a 2x4 against a tree or a big ass stick against a tree, and it didn't break, and you're like, that sting. So
I was a kid once. I mean, I was destructive as a little boy in the backyard, trying to just be a rambunctious, kid. But I've never like.
I hate to say it like this again. Whoever just tunes in, they're gonna think like we're talking some serial killer shit. But how hard and what is the right weapon to use against another person,
or at least a zombie?
Case,
Yeah, because like, I don't know. To me, in my heart, I feel like a hatchet or like some kind of long axe, right, for immediacy. Yeah. But the bluntness of the blade would be something that I have to take care of. And then I thought like, okay, bat, but like a bat is like, well, that's trauma inducing, but like you'd really have to get invested after you make your initial hit and then keep on going, you know, like it doesn't.
And I'm one of those people too who think I hate it when they do it in games, but then again, it is in real life. How many times can I use said weapon until it breaks, and then it's like, oh shit.
And then video games rear their ugly faces and they go, well, you can only use a katana 2 times. Sorry, Travis Grady. Like,
yeah.
Guess you're gonna have to just chuck a TV toaster. Or a toaster, or the jugs, whatever the hell those jugs were.
Yo. Shout out to that game though, man, where you can literally grab everything and anything. That was the only game that they did that perfect with, and I'm so glad. They're like, here's a keyboard. You know? I was like, dude, fuck yeah, like it's gonna break in one hit, but I'm gonna try it out. I can't tell you how many stupid shit I threw at nurses on that game.
Yeah, or just ran away. I was just running away that whole time.
So are we doing simple zombies this time around?
So we've got well, I mean, we've got simple zombies, and then I thought about like, okay, what if it gets like tougher, like later on through the zombie apocalypse, right? And like maybe there's like tougher zombies out there, and that's when I thought about 28 Days Later, Zombie Island, and Dead Island. Zombieland, Dead Island. Okay. So
now they're running. They're not.
They're running. There's a little bit more gusto. Maybe.
Which, me personally, I gotta ask you this: how, if a zombie apocalypse did happen, what you, in your mind, how you think they would actually be? Like, do you think they'll be like, because in my mind, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think they're gonna be chasing.
I think they're okay. So my heart really wants.
They're cannibalistic.
My heart really wants to be in simple mode.
They have that tumor in their brain, so they're like, die, you know? It's like,
speaking on that, so like, I do believe like if a zombie apocalypse was to happen, it would move and be as aggressive as medium zombies, okay? Or the medium difficulty zombies. Right. So 20 Days Later, Zombieland, Dead Island, like,
I agree
right?
With that. Yeah.
And I think that like, as much as I would really like it to be simple, it's not. It's going to be immediately the 28 Days Later, and then it'll trail off to Night of the Living Dead style.
Okay.
So
maybe like a day and night cycle, you know? At
nighttime,
right?
They, like,
ravaged it. Okay, all right.
Right, or even just like in time frame, like as the years go by, like it's horrible,
they're
and then
evolving.
It just and it just kind of like
they're de-evolved.
They're like the. Hopefully the population of infected, you know, trail out, you know, and then whatever remains, you know. But I do honestly believe that if zombie apocalypse was to happen, 28 Days Later, Zombieland and Dead Island would be like the paradigm.
Ideal.
That would be the ideal. That's where we're probably going to be starting off at, and my plan does not
Oh no, I'm not gonna lie, I don't care how bad of a motherfucker you are, dude. If those zombies are charging like that, I give you a couple days.
Be like, it'd be like the Zombieland like montage.
Yeah.
With like Metallica running in the background.
Oh yeah, you're talking about in the beginning opening scene.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel like it would be going down. Yep.
100%, yeah. I just always hated those games that are like, oh, what's this? What's going on here? It's like, bro, it is 2024. That is clearly a zombie.
I think you said this before, but I hate when like was it I think it was The Last of Us, but I think there was some other video game that we were talking about where it was like you're in a really like crappy situation, and like one of the characters goes, oh, I wonder what that sound was. It's like you're in a zombie apocalypse. Like, honey, get a clue.
Just watch your girlfriend get eaten.
Right. Right.
No, if that's a normal day in your neighborhood, you probably live in a bad part and you need to move. Crack has hit the fucking road hard, brother. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Okay, so the last group, the most ridiculous group I feel is what I would call the extreme zombies. And these are zombies that are a little bit more fantastical, more fantasy based. Not that zombies aren't fantasy based, but whatever. Anyway, so this would comprise of Left 4 Dead, World War Z, and I say that in the like kind of extreme capabilities that like the zombie hordes operate on.
I actually want to ask you this off stream, but when we're talking the Left 4 Dead zombies, we're specifically focusing on the zombies, right? Because I wasn't looking at like the special zombies, as in the Charger, the Boomer. No, I'm talking specifically. Like,
just
so it's specifically the cool. Because I was hoping we're not including the special crap.
Even if you add the special crap into that, that's still quite fantastical and very extreme. That it would be like
100%. Yeah, sir, try to kill a tank.
No,
like
no, like no, or like the witches in the games, you know, like yeah. And of course, The Last of Us. I threw that in there, and it's like that's kind of like a contested like. And the reason why I put it in there is because there's actually a fungi that operates just like that on ants. It does zombify them.
Yeah, we were just talking about this yesterday. Yeah.
And
so you know that whole process, it brings it back to their home base, and they all attack it, and then it wild shit.
Right.
Wow, I literally read this up yesterday, and me and my wife was talking about it because of this podcast, and we were like, what the fuck?
So it is real, but like putting it to like what do you call it? Human standards or human interaction, not the animals kingdom. Like it's crazy, it's freaking crazy. And that's why I put it into fantastical, because it'd be like, well, if this was to get to the extremes of that, I'm not surviving. I already know that. Like
no. So how you want to start this off?
Dude, I would not survive. I mean, from medium down to like simple, I think I could like get by. I
think I got it.
Get by. But man, I don't have a plan for anything. I don't have a plan for any of it.
Really? So I'll go ahead and start with mine then.
Sure.
If you don't mind. So I hate to say it like this, and again, I'm not trying to say I'm Billy Badass and tooting my own horn, but I feel like if we're talking simple zombies here, I could just take my time. Like the whole city's not rioting, the cars aren't getting flipped, people ain't breaking into stores in and out. I mean, that's gonna happen, but you know what I'm saying, like yet. But I feel like I could just take my time. It's like I feel like if we're talking simple zombies, as in The Living Dead and stuff like that, I could literally, hey, I'm gonna go to Walmart real quick and walk my happy ass down there and have no problem. That's just how I am. Now, if we're talking to the medium part, as in the 28 weeks later, how I would do it, I'm gonna just turn it up a little bit. So shit's in the fan, people are freaking out. It just got listed on the news. People are getting attacked. World War Z's happening.
Yeah.
And what I would honestly do is I'm going to scratch my whole kid self out and say we're not going to Lowe's. I actually was just, again, talking to her about this. Army surplus store. We have one near here where I'm from. And grab all the MREs that I can, because you got to eat. Right? And so grab all the MREs. And I hate to say it like this, but we have a lot of weapons around here that I could craft into some stuff. I feel like I really don't need to focus on, okay, let's go to this store and grab a bat. Let's go to this store and grab ammo and guns. So I'm pretty comfortable with that. Mine is mainly MREs, bandages. I would honestly hit up a CVS and grab all the medicine and bandages and first aids, because everybody's going to need that.
Yep.
And then I'll get to the thing, to the weapons and everything. With that being said, around my neighborhood, what I would like to do is start crafting like kind of like a border around. And like I told you before the live stream started, so there's gonna be two parts of me. And the reason why I say two parts of me is because I would like to think one of them's reality and one of them's like, is this how I'm gonna react if shit does hit the fan? As in, I hate to say it like this, I could or I couldn't. And so I'll start with the reality. So the reality part of me, what I would like to do is start a form base around here, you know, get like a flag and everything, like a home base. So when other settlers are coming, I kind of want to make it like a Fallout, you know, so when other settlers are coming, like, hey, you know, go to this place, they're safe, they have food, they have a community, whatever. And I would like to border that off all around, not major, but like at least like
like a fort, like one of those like old-fashioned forts.
Yeah,
from,
like a little fort. Yeah. Thank you. And,
no, you're fine.
Dude, all that. No, that's the word I was trying to look for. I couldn't think of it. I see the image. Anyway, and so I would like to do that, and then I get people out here, and then I kind of want to go like mafia style with it. So before I let you in and eating my food and giving you resources, and you might as well say house it. What are you going to do to benefit me? Are you a guy who gets ammo? Are you a guy that scavengers? Are you a guy who finds food? Are you a person who's going to help around the community and make this a cleaner place? Kind of mafia style. And then if you can't benefit me what I'll probably do is have you walk away. And I hate to say it, but then go rogue style, probably shoot you in the back of the head, and I'll probably steal all your items. Like that's just that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because hey, we all need something, and I hate to say it, but in a crisis like that, you only have so much food and water.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna start my own base and have a reputation around here, you gotta feed my people. But I don't want to be looked at as king either. You know, I don't want to be the person like, hey, who died and made you king? But then again, I just feel like I have that smart. So that's theoretically what I would love to do. Now, I'm going to switch over. Now, if I'm going rogue, and then I'll let you say your part.
Sure. Yeah.
If I'm going rogue, honestly, it's fuck everything, fuck everybody. My neighbor's dead. Because you have food in your cupboards. My wife is starving right now. I don't give a fuck about you. Like, and I hate to say it, but if I look out my window right now and I see like people screaming in the streets, it's all for everyone, bro. I hate to say it, but and I even told my wife yesterday, if my neighbors are white, because some of them do tune into my live streams, I was like, if they do tune in, first foremost, I apologize. I love you to death. But you're dead. I'm sorry. It's either me or your food. Like, and it's gonna be that food.
Oh my gosh.
So, but with that being said, though, too, I even told my wife, I don't want to kill the population around my kids to have everybody's food and water.
Right.
Because I want to eventually grow. I hate to say it, but in game theory, like a gang. Like, you know, and The Last of Us, you had the Fireflies, and I would like to be known as like, hey, if you join his gang, that's the main thing I want to do. But yeah, no, if we're talking like extremeness, like, I don't know if I'm going to eat tonight, you're dead. Like, if you're my neighbor, you're done. Like, I seen you have a pile of chicken noodle soup in your cupboard. All right, that's mine now. Thank you.
You're like, lentils? So we have lentils for dinner. Like, give me your lentils.
And then I really start to think deep in it, man. I'm like, in a zombie apocalypse, people that aren't focused on zombies, because as a kid, we all asked the story first. Who is the first person you would kill? I would always like wonder, like, oh god,
it's not like a person that I have like zoned in, going like, as soon as you're a zombie, you're out. But I have had, okay, so on that, I've actually like thought about it. Like, remember back in the day, I don't know if this TV show's still around, but what's it called? Survivor. Remember Survivor?
Oh yeah.
And they had like the 2 camps, and like they do the thing. Okay, so I always wondered, like, we've always like my family and I have like spitballed, like, okay, who would be the sole survivor on the island, right? Between the 4 of us, right? And it always comes down to me and my older sister, like the one that's between 10 years and myself. Not the two bookends, not the oldest and the youngest. No, we vote those two off like immediately, okay? Like between me and Sam, between me and her, between me and my sister, we're both looking at each other like this. You got him? I'm like, yeah, I got her. Okay, well, I'll come back in 5 minutes after I go on a walk with my other family member. See you soon. You know? We both go in on separate directions. We both come out of separate directions, and then we both look at each other like this. There's not enough room on this island for the both of us.
You know, so, that like, bush that's been growing those berries, those are mine.
You know why the grass is green? Because of the blood. You know how the blood got there?
For real.
I'm too new to my neighborhood, so like I don't have. I live in a gated community, so I think that helps me with the whole. So
it's easy to say fuck your neighbors. I'm sorry. At least you're not like, hey, you invited me over to your fire the other day, but I'm sorry, dude. Busts his head open. Not joking. Okay.
I think the people here in this community would be too comfortable with like too comfy. I can't say comfortable, right? I think the people here in this community would be too comfy because they'd be like, oh, well, you got a gate, so like we can just block one end and then just have one end as our entrance, or like vice versa. Right. So there's only like two entrances, but like, and it's also gate coded, so like electrical grid goes down.
Bro, you're solid.
But like if the electrical grid goes down, then like that thing doesn't work. So it's just gonna be a freaking piece of work to just fortify those gates up. You know what I mean?
Right.
To then allow things to happen. I think that also in my neighborhood, like if I don't know my neighbors, again, like I walk around, I do like, you know, I do walks with my dog, but like I don't know my neighbors. I can't tell you who lives over there. I know who lives over here. She could go fuck herself. But
there you go, that's your target.
I just don't have a respect for people who, when you first show up to a neighborhood and you just move in, that they're gonna ask you like 20 questions like, who are you? Are you a buyer? Are you a renter? Where are you from? God. Are you a local? Like, how can you afford this house? Do you know about the rules?
What's your...
Yeah, right? Like, pretty much. Like, I was getting
grass
like
every Monday.
Oh my gosh, this lady. And then she has the audacity to be like, oh, it's weird that your grass is brown. It's like, I know, right? It's like I just moved in. I'm just Jesus assessing Christ. How to live here, just like everybody else.
Oh, real quick, anyway. I hate to cut you off, but you
you're
actually reminded me once you said gated community. So when I was a kid and I thought about the zombie apocalypse, this is how like rogue I was and selfish I was. So my first thing was going to be like go to my local Walmart.
I don't think rogues are selfish. Rogues are very necessary in any D&D campaign, okay? Like,
yeah, so okay, well then this will be perfect. But this is how like rogue I was when I was a kid, because once you said gay community, you just like brought back a flashback in my head.
Yeah, totally. Go for it.
About this. I didn't even think about it. So my original plan as a kid was to go to Walmart, basically kick everybody the fuck out before they raid that whole place. And you know how Walmart, at least my Walmarts around here, they have those gated fence that they'll block off the entrance doors, right? So around my Walmart,
sure.
It's basically so nobody could break those glass and rob and be in. So my idea of a zombie apocalypse was to shut those gated fence, reinforce those with steel metal, and then honestly, I was gonna like live on the roof of that place, and then like the whole Walmart building is because it's already fenced in, so they can't get in.
Kind of like Dawn of the Dead, where they go to the mall.
Exactly.
Like the mall thing? Okay. All right.
Yeah, because they had like, that's exactly what it is. They have those like pull fences that like it like robs down, and they have like those bars.
You know, I feel like Dawn of the Dead would have worked out if it was a supermarket.
Dude, yeah.
You know? Like if it was like and I mean like the food's on one side, you know, everything else is on the other side.
You got the
like
food court, you got and then that's what I was gonna do is like if we're talking mall status, I would clear out every single like, and then that could be your little home, kind of like a vault. You know,
but that's
like
what they did. Yeah,
Fallout.
You know, that's what they did with the remake. Is like everybody had their own, like if you watch the movie again, like everyone kind of clears out the whole mall and then of zombies, and then they just set up like different you know, stores to be like different rooms in a big house.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but they start off with like the OG one is like they helicopter on top of the roof, they get out, they make a safe base, and then they go and they squirrel for things and kill zombies along the way. But then like once they realize, oh, we've killed all the zombies in the mall, we can, you know, fortify reinforce everything. But then at the end, these like motorcycle gangs show up and they like, you know, want the mall.
Motorcycle gang.
These hooligans show up and they want the mall, and so our heroes try to, you know, survive that, and like they're like, yeah, no, screw it, we're getting in the helicopter, we're leaving, and then that's literally the film.
Get off subject real quick.
Yeah,
the Bike Rider's coming out next week, bro. I told my wife I'm so excited to see that. Actually, now that you told me what's all coming down, because it's about a motorcycle MC, I told my wife, get ready to watch a grown man cry, because, you know, being an ex MC, yeah, no, dude, that shit. So that's funny that you said that. I didn't know they had a motorcycle show up.
Yeah,
that's
like
cool.
that's like the OG one. The new one is like they escape, and because the guy, one of the guys has like a boat, and they want to escape and go, you know, somewhere else. But honestly, like and then they find out that like the boat doesn't work. My not a plan, I have a plan. It's kind of like, if I wasn't in a gated community, I would, first of all, what I would have on me, okay, it's kind of weird. One of two things would happen. Either A, I would hunker down for as long as I can, and then have my go bag ready to go.
Yeah.
And then just grab Stella, tell Fizzgig, best life to you, you're a cat, figure it out, because I can't for you. And Stella's either on a leash or she's walking by me. And if she goes, she goes. If she doesn't, it's whatever.
Right.
I always thought of myself, and like in that train of thought, it was like this. Okay, so I have two running lists. And one is called Basic Supplies, and the other is called The Plan. That's also not really a plan. So my basic supplies.
That's actually really smart, because like that's why I feel like I should be beneficial with this, because coming from a car mechanic as myself, dude, I weld shit, I cut shit, I did. So let's go. I'm your guy.
And the thing is that like, I mean, I don't have family nearby. I don't have like literally like they're polars of different places than where I'm at. If something bad happens to me, like they're not gonna be here in an hour, okay? Like it's gonna be like a whole like day's trip, just maybe a flight, but like not like that. So
it's okay, Sean. When a zombie apocalypse happens, you could somehow fly here. It's all good.
I'll just put on my hiking boots and just start walking, dude. Like general direction that way, okay? Like not even be on the highway, that kind of stuff. So yeah, always have at least a gallon of water on you. Non-perishable foods, like you said, MREs.
You're going camping style.
Yeah, because I mean it's pretty much camping, but with people trying to kill you. Have your medication and or over-the-counter meds if you need them. A utility knife, duct tape, a radio if you need it. I also, and the reason why I said radio is because at least a radio isn't going to, like, you could have like what's literally a self-crank radio.
Yeah.
Where you don't need battery, right? Your cell phone's not going to work, but it is still a utility. So you could use like a flashlight, you could do video recordings, you could do like all kinds of things with it. Toiletries, clothing, ideal, one duffel bag, about 7 days worth of clothes. And then, for some reason, a little tell of my life showed up, and I didn't realize it till I ran it by my military friends, and they were like, why did you put down important documents? And I was like, well, you know, your driver's license, your passport, your birth certificate. They're like, you're not going to need that in your zombie apocalypse. I'm like, everywhere you go, they ask for 2 forms of identification. Like,
that is smart. Imagine like rolling up to like a military toll during the zombie apocalypse, and they want to know who you are, where you come from. That's smart as fuck. I didn't think of that. Holy shit.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm not a dingus, but it does kind of come with,
because how many zombie films / games I played where they're like, step any further, you're dead. And it's like a whole ass army thing, and then that's what the first thing. Who are you? Where you come from? Yep. And if you have that shit, bingo bango.
Yeah.
This is where I'm going. This is who I am.
How many times have we seen tropes where they're like, hi, my name is Aleister Crowley, and they're like, oh, okay, this guy's name is Aleister Crowley, and then like you find out like 4 episodes later, like they're not even named Aleister Crowley. And he's like, yeah, exactly. So bring your important documents, people, to the zombie apocalypse.
I didn't even think of that. Well, now that's on my list. Son of a bitch.
Just like you, a first aid kit. I thought of a small handbook for like addresses, like a memorandum book, if you will, only because like.
Check.
and at the very bottom of the list, I put down petty cash, and then I put like little notes to it saying like it won't matter what money is like later on in the zombie apocalypse.
That's what I was going to ask you too. Like, do you think that money would still be the currency of zombie apocalypse, or do you think it'd be kind of like a Fallout thing where it's like bottle caps or like pop tabs? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think money's gonna. Well, I think money is gonna hold.
I don't think money will be a currency.
Money will be a currency as long as the electrical grid is up.
That's deep.
Because like
I even thought about this one too, though. Like if money wasn't a currency, what would be the currency?
Right. Well, I would say utilitarianism, or like how much utility a person can make of themselves. For example, like you said earlier,
I hate to say it, I think it'd be more barter and trading.
Yeah, barter and trade. Like, what have you got? I wouldn't say frontier, but frontierism. Okay. It's like borderline frontierism, but like frontier, barter and trade. What have you got that I don't have? What can I take from you, or whatever? And then
what do you have it? Yeah.
Or steal or whatever. What can you offer me? But also like, if I do this job for you, will you give me food? Or if I do this job for you,
that comes back to what I was planning on doing with my Metropolis is like, obviously, you bring back food, we'll give you guns and we'll give you armor or whatever the fuck you need, plus a place to stay, whenever you're welcome. Vice versa, you bring in guns, you get food, and same thing, place to stay, you know where to come back. It's one of those things when I was talking about my theory is that, like I said, mafia style, and that's the best way I could do it, is just because it's like, okay, you're coming into my place. Why do you need to be here? Why do I want you here?
So do you think it would be easier to be solo like me, or because I'm thinking to myself like I don't need any, like, not that I don't need anybody, but
man,
I'm sitting here going like this.
Again, I'm not trying to be like
a community's fine. I was thinking like a community's fine, but I have no problems going on an adventure.
I'm 50-50, man. I'm like kind of how some people look at unions. Like, I'm not all for unions, but then again, sometimes I am. I'm like 50-50 because I'm one of those people. And again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, and a lot of people probably be like, yeah, right. I feel like I'm a good talker, and I'm not saying like manipulating or anything, but I feel like I could persuade people, and
you got high charisma. You have high charisma.
I really do. Because sometimes when I start talking, sometimes it's out of my ass, people will still be like, you know what, you're onto something, and what if we just did a little bit of this? And then I'm like, hey, that's a perfect plan. I'm never against any odds, I'm not like, no, you're wrong, kill him, So I feel like that's why the community would be great for me, because again, I feel like I wouldn't want to be a leader, but I feel like I would be pretty damn good. But then again, in my case and scenario, what you just said, I wouldn't mind going solo, but I just feel like, I hate to say it like this, there'd just be no purpose in life. Like, it's just you, and I'm not a solo person. I gotta have that brother connection / that community that follow me. Like, I'm here to do this job, and or vice versa. Those people are counting on me. Like, it gives me something to wake up to in a zombie apocalypse. I feel like if I'm just day 15 in the woods and I'm probably in California,
you got the sequoias over there, the redwoods up there. You've got the desert down there.
Honestly, I feel like I would go insane, and I hate to say it, but like just off myself.
Oh, really? See, no, for me, like
yeah.
just beyond those mountains over there, or beyond up there, or the desert down there, I'm like, there's something else out there. Like, there's someplace else that I've never seen or I've never been to, and it's like, it's not necessarily like if I stay away from others, I'll be fine. It's more like, you know, I don't know. I kind of have this like rotation door policy, like even in like my art, or even in, like in my business, or even in my like how do you just say like life, is that like life's a rotating door. You know, you're the hotel, but there's always a rotating door, and it's a matter of, well, like, you can leave my life if you want. The door's not 100% closed on a lot of people. It is. There's a imagine there's a bouncer. But some people are just not allowed back. But even if we haven't talked in like a year, 3, 5, 10, whatever, if you come back to me and you're like, hey, Sean, I was thinking about you and yada, 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 I'd be like, oh my God, it's so great to talk to you. You know what I mean? I've had so many times of that happening. So in a zombie apocalypse, if there's somebody that like another wandering soul on the Pacific Crust Trail or whatever, and we meet up and
look, I play a lot of DayZ. I don't know, dude. I might be like,
if it happens like this, and we go our separate ways, and then many years later we come back and we're like, oh my gosh, like, you're such a changed person. Oh my God, you are too. Check out that beard. You know, like, you know, it's just to me that would be my ideal zombie apocalypse, with like a little bit of the wackadoodles in between. But
so you want like the scavenging, or not scavenging, I should say, but you want the like lone wanderer life and stuff like that.
There's that, but like I would have to be pushed out to do that. Like, that would not be my initial go-to. Like, my initial go-to would be, okay, hunker down and let's see like how bad this gets, but let's get out as soon as it gets hairy, because it's going to be better not somewhere else. There's not like it's not like a fire escape where it's like, okay, well, the house is on fire, so we meet across the street. Like, I don't have a place in America where I'm like, okay, so my family and I are gonna meet here in BFE America. Like, we don't have that kind of a place, you know? There's not one location in America that I would sit here and go, we're going there. Oh, also in my basic supplies is this thing. This thing is a freaking godsend. I don't know if you know what this is. So this is a battery pack that's also a flashlight. It's also a compass. It's solar powered, Bluetooth powered, all those plugins for any type of USB shenanigans. And if you get a charge, you can charge it like this. And if you don't have sun and you don't have like any way of drawing power, you just hand crank it. Man, you just hand crank power for your battery, and then you just
I'll be honest
charge
with that. That's why I would hit up an army surplus store, because I have none of that shit.
It's no bigger than my hand.
Yeah, so that's perfect for carrying.
Yeah, and like honestly, like something like that during a zombie apocalypse would be like, I don't mean to be like shilling like a battery pack or something like that, but I'm just saying, like, in a zombie apocalypse situation, that would be pretty important. You know what I'm saying? Like, just for
like
sake of
whole shebang.
Minus a radio, but yeah. And like, I think like how I would handle a zombie apocalypse, like on all three extremes, would be like, first and foremost, identify your friends and foes, hunt for supplies, clean water resources. I think is pretty important. We covered how to fight a zombie best, like hand to hand, item to item, or firearm.
I'm glad that we both agreed on that, and honestly, that kind of makes me laugh that we both agree on that, because I thought for sure at least one of us, I'm not gonna lie to you, at first I was like gun blazing. Like I'm gonna hit up my local armory and get all the weapons. But then literally, I was actually today. I thought about it. I was like, I can't load an AR-15 to save my life. I used to have one, but like, dude, like after you get like the 15th bullet, and you're like, yeah, and that's not gonna help me.
But that's also expecting that like you're going to be doing this, like prepping for this moment, right? That's never gonna come. This is just fantastical talk. But like, the thing is like training yourself for that, vice actually, you know, doing it is like two separate things. For myself, I was only trained on the 9mm and the shotgun. Rifles and everything else came later, like how to undress and dress. But like as far as like doing it efficiently, I can tell you how to do it, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna be efficient at it. Like those are two separate things. I can show you how
to load it and shoot it, but besides that, if I'm gonna put a time watch on you and like, let me see you load this thing in 5 seconds. If you go over it, you know, these are the repercussions. Yeah, I can't do that.
No, I am not Major Payne.
But no, when it comes to the crafting though, like I just told you, from a car mechanic guy, oh yeah, zombie apocalypse happens, I got a lot of weapons, and if not, there's a lot of things I can make into weapons, whether they'll be sturdy enough or not, but we'll find out if that ever happens.
But that's like the trial and error. That just comes with the experience of enduring such a zombie apocalypse.
Exactly. And not only that, I find more of like a connection with that, you know, like duct taping this around it. All right, let's see what this thing could do, you know, more than one bullet, bang, like anybody could do that.
Yeah, exactly. For you, I feel like if it was like a community situation, everybody needs to have a job. You know, everyone needs to be tasked with something, and the reason why is because
that's what I was thinking is like gardener, and you know, here's your armor person, here's your marksman person, here's weapons. Like hell yeah.
Right.
What was you saying though?
I was gonna add in that like we were talking like we touched upon it like plenty enough, but like shelter is not necessarily safe. No, like I mean, like how many times have we played a video game or like watched a movie or read a book or whatever, and like everything seems fine when everyone gets to the safe house or to the goal line, but then just shenanigans pops off and it's just everything goes sideways. I don't know if you ever watched
my 7 Days to Die stream.
Yes.
But if you haven't,
okay,
so very, very what you said. I found this house. I was like, this is the house. Granted, this has come from a person that never played 7 Days to Die, so take that note. But anyway, I built a wooden fort around, and the next thing you know, a horde came out, and it wasn't even on the 7th day, when the blood moon happens and the zombies get even more amped up. A random horde just came out and fucked my whole wooden structure up, and then managed to even get inside the house, and I built that fucker, dude. And I was like, wow. So yeah, no, if that came from a game, I don't even want to see it. Like you said, technically community is not safe. All it takes is like the wrong shit and the weakest point, done. Zombies get in your community, now you're fucked.
I think like during the zombie apocalypse, like you gotta kill them all. Like there's no like oh hey, that zombie's like 100 yards that direction. Yeah, right. Shoot on sight, wackadoodle as you're coming up to them, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do your part in cleaning up. Like, I don't know how to explain that. Fight boredom. Write in a diary. Play a card game. Do something that exercises here. Because I think in like The Walking Dead, remember that one season where he was hearing the telephone ring, but it was nobody. Humans are.
You gotta focus on mental.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this last week, and it dawned on me, and I wrote it down here. It says, "Humans are the scariest monsters."
Damn.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. Like. It's either like it comes right down to like the two types of like scary stories. There's the scary monsters out there in the woods, or there's the scary monsters here in the camp. Which one is scarier?
Wow.
Wow. And so it's totally okay to eliminate the weak link. I wrote that down right afterward.
I mean, I hate to say it, but sometimes you gotta take old what's that? Old Yeller out back, and nobody wants to do it, but I mean, that's like your best friend, dude. A lot of people don't think of this, but and I'll be honest with you guys. If it came down to it, if I was with my bro and we were ride and die and we spent day and night together during a zombie apocalypse and he gets bit in the arm, you gotta do
Question:
it.
Would you wackadoodle him like immediately, or would you wait for him to change and then do it? Because I've seen movies where it happens both ways, where like, it looking kind of rough, like it's fine. Like first off, they don't even tell you. Or
it's pull the sleeve back.
Yeah, right. or people know, but they're like, okay, either we handle it now or we handle it later. Okay, well, if we're handling it later, it's your responsibility because you're the one putting that on, because I want to take care of it now.
I hate to say it, but me being me, and as fucked up as this whole how I've been throughout this whole podcast, honestly, deep down, I would probably have to wait it out.
Me too.
I don't think I could instantly.
Because I think like consciously, I would sit here and be like, well, actually they were already dead and then they reanimated, and so now I just finished the job.
Right. And it wouldn't be one of those waited out as in like I'll fall asleep and I'll get back to it tomorrow type stuff. Like don't get me wrong, like if it happened, I would definitely have to smoke a cigarette outside, walk around, pace, and be like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I know I would have to do it.
Yeah.
Because just like you said, I've seen those movies too where they waited last minute and then they're already changing and charging after that. I'm like, why didn't you shoot them when you fucking like now they're running around the house, shit's getting knocked over. I seen that shit. Like I want to wait that fine line, but it would definitely be an hour or so. Like, bro, let's have one more beer type shit. Like, because at the end of the day, you know what has to be done.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And last and final thought that I had on the zombie apocalypse, how I would handle it as a plan is in and out operations, no side quests. Okay, if we're going into a Walmart to get frozen veggies so I can heat them up over some hot water, we go and get the veggies, we walk right back out. We do not.
Oh, I do that
hey,
now.
I was wondering if we could get some new clothes. We said vegetables. We are not here to shop for clothes, okay?
And them right there.
Weekly. Bam.
Yeah, exactly. And then they got the duffel bag, so then you take their shit now.
Because like, how many times have we seen like zombie movies, zombie comics, zombie video games where like it's always the A plan, right? And no one ever talks about the B plan if they need a B plan. But then like in the middle of A plan, they hear some girl screaming down the hallway. Or they, and I'm just sitting here going like this.
You go get the vegetables. I'll check that out. I'm like, why are we doing this?
No, Dom, don't do it. It's not worth it. No, it's a trap. It's a bunch of hillbillies.
Right.
And I don't want to get... I don't want to find out what happens in West Virginia.
Literally. That's fun. Oh man.
You know what happens, okay? It doesn't have to be West Virginia, but what happens, okay?
It goes down either way.
So zombie apocalypse aside, I have a quick question for you here, Dom.
What's up?
All right. The zombie apocalypse is a pandemic, okay? It is viral. It's human-to-human transfer by bite, by saliva. It goes through the blood system. It infects the brain. It causes, people to die, and then their bodies reanimate, right?
Right.
As a pandemic, how do you think society has handled pandemics in its past? And I speak on the Spanish flu, COVID 4 years ago, and every other bird flu, swine flu, mad cow disease, the literal flu as a pandemic. How do you think those pandemics have shaped us up for handling the zombie apocalypse?
I'm going to go back to what I said originally at the beginning of this podcast, and that is I feel like it would be the whole freaking out, cars are getting flipped, people are running, that one
20 rolls of toilet paper.
Zombie.
20 rolls of toilet paper later at a CVS for no reason.
I don't think it'd be your average like, oh, just stay inside, it's all right, like it'll blow by tomorrow. No, I think I'm glad that is a very good question. Thank you for asking me that. But no, we as humans, and again, I'm not saying like, oh, I would handle it just fine. I don't get me wrong. If I hear screaming outside right now, I look out my window at this very time of this podcast, I'd probably throw my headphones and be like, Sean, we got to end this right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
I'll see you out there on the road,
bro. I would freak out as well. So yeah, I think the toilet paper's gone. Everything's gone. Like, seriously, I'll be honest with you though, with the whole COVID thing, I wasn't even really freaking out. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it kind of scared me, but in my head, I was like, well, I'm getting paid and I just got 6 months off of work. Let's do it, because I'm a gamer. I was living at my mom's house at the time, so I was like, hell yeah.
So like, I had just come back from a 10-month deployment, living with the same 5,000 people on a floating ship, okay? All across the world, all right? So we had February and March to ourselves to do something called normal. And then April hits and the military is locked down and you can only go to work, you can only go home. And then we got A and B teams and like all the things. And as I was hearing the news come in about like the pandemic coming through and things like that, I didn't think it was going to be as bad as it turned out. You know what I mean? And then like,
I'll tell you my point of view, dude. It was actually kind of scary here because I'm from a small town, and it was a ghost town. It was terrifying. Like, you could hear somebody drop a pencil. It was like there was no cars, there was nothing, and that's what makes me laugh about it, because unlike your story, so I had a great COVID experience because I just turned 21. I'm now getting paid, and I'll let people know this because this was at my old job. I know that you shouldn't tell people how much you were getting paid, but this is at my old job. I was getting paid $900 a week, weekly pay, sitting in my room, getting drunk as fuck every day, playing Dead by Daylight. And that is God honest truth. And the scariest thing ever was this going outside, and there wasn't even cops. There wasn't no cars coming. Nothing. It was ghost town. Like, you thought people were actually dead in their house. Like, it was that scary. And then moving on, and may I remind you, we were locked down for, like you said, you were locked down for February and March. We were locked down till August, dude. So it was from March all the way to August.
We came home from deployment in January. And then we had February and March to ourselves to live life that was normal. And then April hit, and April, So we only had.
So then July for me though, it hit, and my wife took me out to see the ocean for the first time down in North Carolina, and then I got drunk on the ocean. So that was my whole COVID thing, dude. So I was getting paid, getting drunk on the ocean. Like, yeah, it was awesome. We had a ocean hotel too, so as soon as you walk out, the ocean's right there. Oh my God, I was living like what a rich person would, and it was awesome. So yeah, no, I love COVID, dude. COVID was awesome.
My dear friend Michelle, she lived right next door to me, and at the time, and she's an older lady. She's senior, clearly, and honestly, like, she's, you know, retired and all the things. I'm working like 3 days out of the week, and I would, on my days where I did like the one day throughout the week, and I still do this, like, I am so anti-peopling of anti-people. I only go to the grocery store or to the supermarket for one day, and I get my 1 hour fill, and I get the hell out. It is in, out, no side quests, get out, you know? Like,
no side quests.
No side quests. It's like Edna Mode from The Incredibles. It's like, no capes. And so like as I'm shopping, I'm thinking to myself like, man, I don't know if this lady's got like canned food, if she's got any toilet paper, like is she shopping for herself, has she gone outside, like because she lived like right next door to me, and I was just sitting going like this, well, I'm between, you know, the military and getting out of the service, so you know, check to see if she's okay in some way, shape, and form. And you know, so yeah, you know, I'd just go, I'd knock on the door and I'd be like, hey, do you need anything? She'd be like, oh, I need, you know, this, that, if you manage to find anything.
I did that to one of my buddies. He got COVID like as soon as it hit. Like he was like one of the first people, you know, around this town, which surprised the hell out of me because he really didn't even go around. He didn't even go outside in general. So I was like, how the fuck did you get COVID? And no, I did that for him. I didn't come in contact with him, but I hit him up and I was like, hey, you need. He was a major alcoholic at the time, and I even told him, I was like, you need beer and cigarettes, like I'll drop it off at the door. And he even told me, yeah, he's just like, nah, dude, I'm good, like I really can. And I was like, well, I'm here for you, like I don't know what it's like, because I didn't get COVID until after COVID.
Same
I got
here.
in November. Yeah.
Same here.
And everybody else, like friends, family, fucking close people, relatives, like the whole shebang got it like as soon as it dropped in the middle of the pandemic, towards the end of the pandemic. Mine was like literally like there is no such thing as COVID no more. You're good. And then I got it, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like it was until like 2 years after I got hired after the military, a coworker came in, and then she was like sniffles and coughs and all the things, and then like, you know, people start falling out here and there. I'm wiping down everything and trying to be as sanitization as possible at my workstation, and sure the hell enough, like I just go and I grab myself a couple of COVID tests, and like that thing was like,
oh my god,
it worked. It was like, it was test positive immediately. That thing was so unabashed about the truth. It was like, you do a little swab here, and you do the little dunk, and then you know, cap it, and you do the little squeeze, and the little thing goes, whoop, and it's like line. I'm like, oh, what does this mean?
Like, what the hell?
What do you mean I'm pregnant? Oh no, I got the wrong test again.
Yeah,
you know.
Got the plus. Shit. Or it's a double line.
Dang it, I'm pregnant again.
Third time this week. Now.
So yeah, man, that's my not zombie apocalypse, how to survive a zombie apocalypse plan.
Oh, yeah, man.
I give it 2 thumbs down, although I do give it 2 thumbs up because it works for me. It's not for everybody, but there are good ideas in there that I think can help.
I hate to say it, but if I'm rating mine, I can't. It's one of those things where I gotta fuck around and find out when it happens. It happens. That's that.
Yeah, man.
Because there's no way I could be like, hey, neighbors, I'm going to go build a fort real quick. Yo, the city of my town would be like, the fuck are you doing, son?
It's going to be like, we're 5 years old all over again, guys. Let's go. Let's pretend.
Yeah. You know? Tree house.
Where the Ewoks live. Oh my god. Yeah, and again, like with the most recent pandemic or all the ones in the past, man, I always feel like we overreact or we underplay way too hard on, especially with the internet. The internet is just go with mass information that it's hard to like filter out, like what are the truths, what are the lies, what's going right, what's going left. And like I think that for COVID we did the best we could in a situation, but we could have done better, obviously. I don't think a whole lot of
fucking percent.
I don't think that I honestly do believe that the people that did die in the last pandemic didn't have to die if they just you know did what everybody else and their grandmothers did do, you know, like stay away from each other, sanitize.
Well, that's what pissed me off about COVID too, because they're like, oh, well, if you're old or if you're an infant, you're going to die, and they were scaring the fuck out of people. And
you're higher up on the totem pole, you know what I mean? You're higher up on the totem pole of you know, mortality.
And I hate to say it like this, but people who wasn't listening to that and was freaking out like, oh my god, my grandma's gonna die or my child's gonna die, and I hate to say it like this, and you know, those of you who have lost grandparents or infants, not due to COVID or due to COVID. I'm sorry to hear that, but
yeah, for sure.
This is just me being me. But as an infant or an old person, if you even get a cough, like you're going to die. You know what I'm saying? Not. Now I'm over exaggerating it, but that's just how it is in general. So like when they were like, "Oh, COVID's hitting," and if you're an infant or a grandparent, like if you get it, you're gonna die. I'm like, that's how it is in general. Like if you get sick as an infant or an older person, chances are of you dying is up there, man. Like so it's like, why is COVID? Like because that's all it was a bad fever.
I can never understand like in zombie apocalypses where like I understand like the old veteran guy somehow survives and he's like living his best life and just trying to get by every day. But I can never understand right? I can never understand zombie apocalypses where they're like, hey, let's make a baby. I'm like, in this environment?
Right, like you want to bring another creation to this?
Like, how are you gonna like hello? You gotta take them to the doctor and get their like first month shots. Like who's gonna do that?
Like we got the doctor right here. It's the old style, like where he cuts your hair and is a doctor.
Oh my god, where the barber is the doctor.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
And the sheriff is the bartender. Like what? You know, like it's a lot. It's a good comparison of like how well did we do on the litmus test? Not so great. Could have done better.
Yeah.
It definitely put into perspective of like, okay, in zombie apocalypse times, even on a ship, I remember hearing the Eisenhower struggle busing during the coronavirus outbreak, that I was just sitting going like this, man, this would be the time for me to sit here and be like this. I remember, okay, I know it's a sea story, but on deployment, 99.9% of the time, the whole ship is going to experience Double Dragon. If you don't know what Double Dragon is, it's where you're vomiting and diarrhea at the same time. Okay, and what does this come from? This usually comes from nasty mother lickers who don't know how to wash their gosh darn hands, and they're touching every single surface. And so, you know, I touch this surface, and then, you know, I eat, like, I put my hands on my mouth or, like, my face or somewhere like that. So anyway, 99.9% of the time, because it happened 4 times on my 10-month deployment. And every single time it happened, I treated it like the zombie apocalypse, dude. I sanitized everything, every single crevice of the space, and I was like sanitizing every surface. I was like, look, the less shit we have on our desks, the better off we'll be. You know, like high dust, low dust, vacuum, like all the things. And no one got sick, but the only reason why people would get sick is dead ass because they were out doing hooligan shenanigans or hanging out with people who are not clean people at the end of the day. And my LPO was one of them. He would be like, can I come in? And I'd be like, no. And he's like, why? I'm like, cause like it's the middle of the month and we don't know when you're going to be sick again. So there's still a 50% chance that you're going to get sick one of these days. And I honestly don't want your germs in here. Like,
no.
We had this running game. This guy was sick at least once every single month. So we came up with this game called Roulette. I can't say the actual name of the game because it's a roulette. But it rhymes with his last name, so we actually named it after him. And so everyone in the second class email group that knew about this roulette game, Highlight Bright, we would all bet reds, blacks, evens, rows, columns, evens, odds, lucky numbers, all the things, right? And we would just sit and just watch and just wait until the calendar day hit. And if it was like 13 red, it would be like this. All right, whoever betted on red, you get a monster. Whoever bet on 13, you get 3 monsters. Whoever didn't bet on 13, whoever bet on this column here, like column 1 or whatever, you get, 3 monsters or whatever for that week. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a whole pool, and then we would have to pay up like our monsters on deployment because it all singly relied on one person in our command who was going to be sick that month. So this guy was like sick like once a month for like 10 days out of the whole deployment, you know?
Wow.
In Zombie Apocalypse, stay away from Deck 3. That is where medical is at. That's where Patient Zero is going to be. And I'm sorry, but your galley is right next to your medical facility. So, like, medical's here. There's a galley here. There's a galley there. So getting food is going to kind of suck a little bit. So hopefully you have, like, 20,000, you know, hot what are they called, Pop-Tarts that you squirreled from the galley for like the past 3 months, if not like day one of walking on the ship. Yeah, like surviving on a ship during a zombie apocalypse would freaking suck. I'd have no idea how to destroy. I would have no idea how to do it. I'd have no idea.
But that's all I got on that.
Same here, man. Like, seriously.
All right.
Freaking, well, here's the thing to do. What's up?
I was gonna say, awesome, before we wrap it up, but what was you gonna say?
I was gonna say that, like, if, like, you know, the community out there wants to add their 10 cents on the zombie apocalypse, or, you know, compare and contrast notes of, like, you know, what would they do? Would they stay? Would they go out and meander around like me? Or, you know, would they bring their dog along? Would they not? Like, would they be in a fort like you? Or, and run a kingpin life, you know? Like... I don't know what you would call it, a kingpin life. I'd love to hear that. I would love to hear from your community as well as from my community what they would think.
Absolutely, and just like he said, we're trying to, from every podcast that we're doing, if you guys give us your input, we'd love to feature you guys on the next one so you guys could kind of get a little bit of a shout out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'd like to thank our moderators, Lightbright and DDogCat and KingJ935 for moderating. Thank you guys for holding down the fort, as always. Okay, so Dom, where can everyone follow you?
Oh, yeah. You could look me up on Twitch, DDogCat36, or YouTube as well, which is DDogCat36 as well.
All the things.
And I would like to also thank my... yeah, literally all the things, DDogCat. And I would like to thank my mods as well. One of them being Sean Graves. So,
yeah, man.
Oh yeah, no. But before I was gonna say, before anything else, we end it. Silent Hill 2 finally got a release date. You know, back to our original shit. So October 8th, and Sean and I is going all out for that. I would imagine. Well, at least I am. But I know that he's right behind me because we both just bought the deluxe version.
Yep.
So at least I did. I don't know about. Did you buy?
I did too.
Okay. Yep. Cool. So yeah, we both bought the deluxe version. So make sure to look fucking forward for that as much as we are, because I'm screaming.
Yep.
And I'm shitting my pants and I can't hold it no more, man.
Oh man. as soon as there was a date, I was just like this. Take my money now.
Dude, relief. I was so scared too, dude. When I was getting told like there was a release date in this transmission, something kept on telling me it's gonna be next year. It's gonna be 2025. I was like, no, they said it was gonna be 2024. Yeah. But there was doubt. There was hard doubt.
A little bit of doubt.
But no, it's there. Granted, it's a couple months away, but you know, fuck, dude. I wanted out like I was so hoping like August, July.
Yeah, no, seriously, same here. But I mean, I'm okay with October. That gives me enough time to get things figured out for the autumn time. Not only that,
it's spooky season. So what perfect for it, because I already got a stream overlay for the spooky season. So I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah, man. Well, next time we'll try to do the same thing we do every night, surviving. My name is Sean, and this dude over here, his name is...
I'm Dom.
Wishing you all the best till next time. Peace, everyone.
Bye.